Guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for coming back. If you are new to my channel and my space, hi, my name is Becca. I'm a migrant nurse originally from Ghana in West Africa. I practice, I live, and I work in London. On this channel, basically I talk about nursing, I do lifestyle videos, a little bit of me, fun and positive vibes here and there. In today's video, I'm going to be giving an update and an information or addressing some issues or some topics about the famous indefinite leave to remain in the UK. If you guys know or you do not know, when you come into the UK as an immigrant legally and you are on any category of visa, especially the tier 2 visa, if you came in as a skilled worker, you qualify to get your indefinite leave to remain after 5 months. So this indefinite leave to remain gives you the freedom to live in the UK without having to change visas, and it also grants you the permission to do any kind of jobs that you want. If you guys don't know, there are some jobs in the UK that are already restricted to people who have got indefinite leave to remain. However, if you get your indefinite leave to remain, which usually takes 5 years, you have the flexibility and the freedom to do these jobs without any restriction. When you come into the UK, before you even get this indefinite leave to remain, which is not the British citizenship, you have to be a person of good character. You have to have lived in the UK for continuously 5 years without living out of the UK for more than 180 days. So you can't go outside of the UK for more than 180 days if you are in the UK, and you have to have a job, and your employer should state that you are still needed in this job. And also you have to take the life in the UK test, and which is not easy. People go and then they fail. You have to prepare thoroughly for this examination. Apart from that, you have to pay a fee of almost £2,500 per person as at now to get your indefinite leave to remain. So if you're a family of 4, 5, 6 going, then you should know how much you're going to be paying per person to get the famous indefinite leave to remain. After you've got the indefinite leave to remain, doesn't end there. Doesn't mean that you're going to be getting your British citizenship. You still have to go through the process after 1 year before you can apply for your British citizenship. And if you are deemed worthy, or if you are deemed eligible, you can get your British citizenship. This is for 5 years, right? We have 10 years routes. People that takes them 10 years to get their indefinite leave to remain. Now, before I go into anything, I must state that it's not easy for you to get the status in the UK, because you are going to be staying in the UK for 5 years. You need to be in continuous employment. You can't go outside of the UK for more than 180 days. You have to take your life in the UK test. You have to pay for a fee to get indefinite leave to remain. We had a shocking news last week somewhere towards the ending of last week that the UK government is proposing to extend this famous indefinite leave to remain from 5 years to 8 years. And the reason why I am talking about this, I'm doing this video, is that, well, the plan is just a proposal, and the plan is for them to be able to curb immigration, right? And also to make it unattractive for people to move into the UK, as they think that UK is quite easier for people to immigrate into compared to Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand, and the rest. Already, it is not attractive for people now to move into the UK, because if people have options, they would rather choose their options over the UK. And sometimes when I sit back and remember that I once had an option and I decided to choose the UK because I was rooted for the UK, I love the UK so much. Now there is this kind of regret. I'm like, did we really make the right decision? Was it really a right decision to come to the UK? Extended indefinite leave to remain to 8 years. And it's not like the indefinite leave to remain is even free. It's not like when you get to the 5 years mark, it is given to you automatically. It's not given to you automatically. You still have to go through the process. And if it is refused, which can be possible, yes, I've seen a lot of people's indefinite leave remain being refused. There was this guy, I don't want to go into that. His indefinite leave to remain was refused, right? If you miss one thing in the application, it will be refused. You have to go through an appeal to get that status, okay? So it's not like it's easy for you to get an indefinite leave to remain already. However, extending it to 8 years is going to put a lot of immigrants off, which is already happening. Immigrants are already, being put off from coming into the UK. Listen, one thing that I feel is not right, unless somebody makes it clearer to me, it's not right, because when the UK needed people during the pandemic, We all know how desperate the UK was in need of skilled workers, especially. The UK was desperately in need of skilled workers. People came in the heat of the pandemic to help the country. Now it feels like the pandemic is over. All right, thank you. We have used you. We are finished with you. We are so done with you. We do not need you again. And so we'll make things very difficult for you. That is just what I feel is happening in the UK now. Because when the pandemic came, guess what? IHS fee was scraped. People who were even in third year nursing school were allowed to work. The 20 hours cap was lifted off. People were allowed to work more than 20 hours on skilled work visa. When the pandemic went, all these things came back. You couldn't work for more than 20 hours. People protested. It was removed again up until the 27th of August. After 27th of August, you cannot work more than 20 hours outside of your first job. I feel like, what is happening here? Do you think you have used immigrants? You have finished with them? So, yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. This is a check for being used. And the check for being used is to tighten things for immigrants. Already, there are countries that you can move from your home country and you already have your settlement. Canada is one of them. It's difficult to get a Canadian visa. However, there are some programs that gives you a Canadian resident permit, which is a Canada PR, from your home country even before you get into Canada. I interviewed a lady on my channel who is a nurse in Ireland, and she said that after 2 years in Ireland, you can get a settlement in Ireland. In the US, if you've won a lottery, it's easy. You get a green card from wherever you are before you enter the US. So already the UK is not attractive for people. Let's not lie. Now people are shifting their focus to more, countries that have got better opportunities. So I think this is a proposal, right? It hasn't come into play. But in the UK, once you hear something that is about to happen, you hear it like this. And I'm saying this because if you go on a lot of platforms where it is predominantly dominated by the locals, by the British citizens, if you read the comments and the conversations that are going on, there are a lot of things that they are not happy about, that they want it to stop. It's going to affect immigrants significantly. And this is one of them. So as we are hearing, it's going to happen. But I feel something is just not right. It's just not fair for it to take somebody 8 years of sweat and blood, of toil, to settle into the UK after they've been here. 8 good years. And it's not like it comes easily. It doesn't come automatic. It doesn't come easily. You still have to pay. You still have to write your exam. You still have to go through that motion. And if you are unlucky, you will be refused. And you have to appeal, sometimes get a lawyer, do the application all over again, the stress of going through it. So if you get indefinite leave to remain and you go to the UK after 2 years and you're coming back, you have to reapply to get that status. So it's not something that is even like, if you ask me, it's not something that is even, it shouldn't be a problem for the UK government to just give people indefinite leave to remain status. It should not be a problem because it's not like it comes easy. So for me, this 8 whole years thing, wow, doesn't really, it doesn't add up, please. The 5 years, I was even thinking that the 5 years will either be reduced or that fee of almost £2,500 is going to be taken off. But guess what? None of these things have changed. And the funny thing is that, when something happens right now and they need you, they need the workforce, they need the people to act, you will see them. They are going to relax all these rules again. So what are you trying to tell people? You're trying to tell people that we use you when we need you. When we don't need you, we just put you aside and we move on. It's your country. You can take whatever decision you want to take. It's not our country. But as immigrants, what we can do is that try to look into other avenues, okay? If these things has happened 4 years ago, before I came to the UK, probably I would have chosen the US over the UK, no doubt. Because at that time, I felt like, wow, this is the UK, I'm rooted for it, let's go for it. But now, I will tell you that if you've got other opportunities that you are looking into, please do not reject it. Look into other opportunities. If you're looking to study, if you're looking to work in other places, there are other places that are better, which are even pay more than the UK government will give you. So if you've got these opportunities, do not blow them away, do not turn them down. Look into these opportunities and yeah, go to a place that it will be easier for you to settle in as an immigrant, for you to have a peace of mind and to have, you know, your settlement as early as you can. But this proposal, I think the decision making body should look into it, because it's not attractive at all. It's not attractive, and it's not even funny, and it's not a good name for the United Kingdom, if you ask me. But anyways, it's their choice, their decision. Whatever they say, we've got brains. The same brain that brought us to the UK can take us elsewhere. So guys, let's start looking into our Canadian dream. Let's start looking into our American dream. Let's start being innovative. Let's start looking for other things so that nothing takes us by surprise. Well, I just thought of bringing this information to you to keep you well informed as always, and for you to make an informed decision before anything happens. I wish you all the very best in your transitioning from your home country to other countries, and until we meet again in my next video, guys. Yes, bye.